Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and it looks like we have some news. Creative Assembly have just updated their known issues list for Total War Warhammer 3. The list can be on screen right now and it's a rather large one, some old ones that we've already talked about, but there's a bunch of new ones, so let's talk about it, right? So Grimgor's skin tone is too light. Yeah, it makes sense, he's way too green, he should be more of a darker green, that's more of a lore thing. Cold One Knights and Riders feel underwhelming. Yep. They're a little bit too weak lately. They do need to get a bit of a buff. I wouldn't call it too much of an issue, though. We do hopefully expect for a Dark Elf rework in the future, because, you know, the slave mechanic is just kind of bad. Whispers of Zarkan could be more frequent. Yeah, you don't really see them too much, but I guess I wouldn't really call that an issue, but okay. Settlement garrisons feel weak. Yes, this is a massive issue for a lot of races where the garrisons are just not good. And it's about time that we had the functionality of all the Total Wars where building certain buildings would give you some extra units towards your garrison. Like, it's really about time. Units spawning onto the map. Yep, this is something that I've been noticing recently, and it's a little annoying because sometimes you just can't get access to them. Doomfire Warlocks are missing their swords, something that I really haven't noticed, but then again, in most cases we're playing in a very aerial view anyway. Azag loses its items in custom battles when mounted. Okay, that's a bit weird. Karak 8 Peaks becomes a 6-slot settlement when owned by the Skaven. That's super odd, but yes, this is a known issue. I've had this issue too. It's kind of annoying, because obviously if you're playing as Queek, you want Karak 8 Peaks to become one of your, like, you know, big settlements. You're going to be one of your main ones. Brightstone Mine is missing from Mount Goodbad for Skaven factions. Ooh, wow. Okay, so that's why someone was actually telling me recently, just don't bother with going to the World's Edge Mountains when you're playing as Tretch. New campaign selection screen defaults to race selection rather than Reichland/Zhao Ming. I thought it just naturally went to Reichland because, you know, Altdorf and Karl Franz and stuff. I would honestly just say keep it on a race selection just so people can go, oh, look at all the different races there are. And it just kind of makes sense because not everyone wants to play as Karl Franz, right? Unique traits in Warhammer 3 require balancing. Yes, some of them are just not good. Some of them are just plain bad, and it's very noticeable. Kogaf has a rough start in Immortal Empires. This has been something that I've been complaining about myself since the launch, well, actually, since pre-launch of Immortal Empires when we had early access, as, yeah, he's not in a good place. His campaign is just kind of horrible considering that he's in those islands. You have to move too much to capture the full province, and then you have to start dealing directly with Gorst and Imrik and just so many issues. If a little bit of a rework came to Nurgle economically, then it would be a lot better, but Kogaf right now is just not in a good place. Borrowed armies from factions with loyalty sometimes rebel. I actually just thought that was more of a feature, because they wouldn't be happy that you just traded them off. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, yeah, really, I thought that was a feature. Threaten may cause the game to crash in multiplayer campaigns. I haven't really done that too much. I don't really play too much in multiplayer. So yeah, couldn't really comment. Shield block chance values in UI are not always consistent. This is true. This is just super weird, where you have more or less on the unit sometimes. It really does depend, but it's just kind of annoying because you expect the UI to be as true as possible, right? Sometimes garrisons may enter battles as reinforcements. Actually, I've showcased a bug like this a while ago, which was provided to me, a save was provided to me by Samurai Warrior. It's actually kind of interesting because the Circle of Influence can actually act as the arrow for reinforcements. I would honestly just keep it the same, because if it's in the border of the town, it might as well come out and defend, right? Like, it just kind of makes sense. You'd be seeing one of your armies fighting, you'd probably want to help out, wouldn't you? Capstone of Tepok does not demolish when a new one is built. Okay, weird. Orion's faction ability can make it easy to generate free armies, and they're going to nerf Orion. Okay. Look, I like the idea of it. Yes, it's a bit too much. Maybe reduce it a little bit, but I know how Creative Assembly works, and it's going to go to the point of, yeah, let's just nerf it completely. Teal vision effect on Glade Captain bow disappears when she is firing. I'm guessing that's more of a accessibility thing for people with colorblindness. I'm not 100% too sure. And finally, feral manticores are not buffed by red skill lines. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to talk about, which is why I actually wanted to make this video. A lot of units are not buffed by certain skill lines. For example, Morathi has the issue with the demonettes and so on. I really hope it's not just the Feral Manticore that's going to get fixed and they're just going to fix up a lot of them. There's a lot of units which aren't tied to your campaign as a standard unit, or they are but via other things. It's the same thing with allied recruitment, right? It would be great if you've got an outpost, say for example, that you had a skill that could upgrade all your allied troops. Yeah, sure, it's not the most important thing, but having extra skill options would definitely help out with those types of things. Yeah, I know, it's a bit different to the talk about the Feral Manticore, but whilst we're at it, right? The rest of the known issues can be found on the screen too, and it's stuff that we've already talked about. It's good that they're updating the known issues list. That means that hopefully there's a patch on the way very, very soon, because we are expecting another patch coming into effect, just to kind of fix up some more stuff, hopefully before the DLC cycle begins in Q2, because we're getting closer and closer to Q2. But yeah. Okay, this is nice. At least it's a little bit of communication. They have been pretty silent for a while, but obviously, you know, Christmas holidays and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. Are there any other issues that you feel are quite large that are not being represented in this list? Which is very important to point out, as, yeah, I could probably send a few messages out to CA and say, look, some people are reporting this issue and so on. But yeah, we'll go from there. Anyways, I'll see you all very, very soon. There's another video coming out today. So yeah,